Namaste, hello. Today I am here with the next topic, that is structure of neuron and reflex action. Here we have neuron. Neuron is a structural and functional unit of nervous system. It receives, conduct and transmit impulses. There are three parts of neuron, that is cell body called as cytone, dendrites also called as dendron, and axon. This is a structure of neuron. This is a cell body which gives off dendrites. In cell body we have nucleus, Nissel's granules, cytoplasm. Cytoplasm has mainly mitochondria. Axon. Axon is covered by two layers. In some it is one layer. One layer is of myelin sheath and second is neurilemma. Neurilemma has a nucleus and the neurilemma is formed by Schwann cells. A place where myelin sheath is not present is called as node of Ranvier. The neuron has some characteristics called as such as it do not divide, it do not replicate, and it uses only glucose. Arrangement of neurons. Neurons is arranged in a sequence called as synapse. The axon gives off terminal arborizations called as axon endings, which is attached with dendrite of other neuron with the space. This space is called as synaptic cleft. The knob is called as presynaptic knob, and the membrane of next neuron is called as postsynaptic membrane. This postsynaptic membrane consists of receptor sites. The flow of information is from dendrite to axon and from axon to the dendrite of next neuron. Now what is nerve impulse? Nerve impulse is a self-propagated electrochemical current that travels from one neuron to another neuron for passage of message. When any stimulus is received by a body, it is received by the terminal arborizations of axons, and from these axons it is transmitted to next neuron, and the thing which transmits is called as nerve impulse, and the passage is stimulus. It is a receptor organ's dendrite, then to cell body, and then to axon, and then axon terminal to passage through synapse, and from synapse it enters next neuron. Or we can say that presynaptic knob to synaptic vesicle. Whenever there is stimulus, the synaptic vesicle stimulates and it releases neurotransmitter. The main neurotransmitter is acetylcholine in synaptic cleft, and it diffuses to receptor site in postsynaptic membrane. These are the receptor sites where neurotransmitter binds and it again flows to the next neuron. It is a one-way passage of impulse, that is from axon of one neuron to the dendrite of second neuron. It does not flow to dendrite to axon. This passage is not followed by nerve impulse. Now we have types of neurons. There are three types of neurons: sensory neurons, motor neurons, and relaying neurons. Sensory neurons are present in receptor organs and they receive stimulus and transmit the stimulus to central nervous system. Motor neurons are present in effector organs and they transmit impulse from central nervous system to effector organ, whereas relaying neurons are connector neurons. They are in between sensory and motor neurons. Now the working of receptor. Receptor collect information in the form of stimuli. Stimuli is any external environment change. Whenever receptor receive any stimulus, this stimulus set up an electrical impulse, also called as nerve impulse, which passes information in the form of electric impulse to brain or spinal cord via nerves. Nerves are the connections by which the nerve impulse is transmitted from receptor to CNS. These impulses reach the brain, and in brain these are called as sensations. These sensations are then analyzed either by spinal cord or by brain, and from there these are transmitted to motor impulses, where these are then transported to effector, and effector के पास transport होती है with the help of motor neurons, and then from Whenever motor neuron transmit motor impulse, the effector produces responses. According to the nerve impulses, there are three types of actions in organism. These are reflex actions, involuntary actions, and voluntary actions. Reflex action. These are spontaneous, automatic, mechanical response to a stimulus without the will of an organism. Whereas involuntary actions, these are the without will performed actions. These are mainly concerned with internal organs or visceral organs like digestion, respiration. These all are internal organ activities and these are occur without the will of an organism. Voluntary actions occur with the will of an organism and these are performed actions by external organs. These are controlled by cerebellum of brain. Reflex action. Now we continue with reflex action. Reflex action are the spontaneous automatic mechanical response to a stimulus without the will of an animal. These are needed to reduce brain's work and to produce immediate action. For example, if we touch any hot object, our hand is we instantly back our hand because we felt it, and this is done by the help of reflex action. The whole activity is called as reflex action. The blinking of eyes, withdrawal of hand or foot every time pinched or pricked, knee jerk reflexes, watering of mouth on seeing the food, these all are reflex actions. Here stimulus is received by a receptor and electric impulse or nerve impulse is sent to spinal cord, then to motor neuron and then to effector organ. Reflex action involves spinal cord for quick responses. The path taken by reflex action is called as reflex arc. Reflex arc has 5 parts. These are receptor, sensory nerve, portion of CNS, maybe spinal cord or brain, motor nerve and effector organ. Receptor, it receives stimulus. It may be cell or organ of an organism. Sensory nerve, these are the nerves which carries impulse from receptor to CNS. Then CNS, part of CNS, that may be spinal cord or may be brain. This spinal cord or brain analyze the sensory impulse and set up a appropriate motor impulse, to which the motor nerve send the impulse to the effector organ. If the information is analyzed by spinal cord, the reflex is called as spinal reflex, and if it is analyzed by brain, the reflex is called as cerebral reflex. Example of spinal reflex is knee jerk and heat sensation response. Knee jerk is whenever there is something hit on our knee, we immediately keep off our feet, and this is called as knee jerk. And heat sensation response is similar. जब भी हम किसी गर्म चीज़ पर हमारा हाथ लग जाता है तो हम एक साथ ही उसे पीछे खींच लेते हैं, क्योंकि जो हमारे मोटर न्यूरॉन्स है वो इम्पल्स सेंड करते हैं स्पाइनल कॉर्ड को, और जो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है वो हमें कमांड देती है कि हमें अपना हाथ पीछे करना है. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन एंड इट occurs in parts of a second. Whereas cerebral reflex is blinking of eyes on high light intensity. Whenever high intensity of light fall on eyes, we immediately close our eyes. This is controlled by brain part, and the part of brain which control it is cerebrum. The significance of reflex action is it checks the overloading and overtaxing of brain. It results in quick response to otherwise harmful stimulus without processing done by coordinating centers of CNS. Similarly, muscles have special proteins which act whenever nerve impulse is sent to them. There are two proteins present in muscles. These are actin and myosin. The muscle may respond by changing its shape or by changing its arrangement in response to stimuli, and these all caused by the actin and myosin protein present in muscles. This is all about today. If you have any doubt, you can ask in comment section.